balanced mind state and get out of the this or that mentality. It's all about the or. So when you say this or that, you want to be in the middle. You want to be at the or. Now again, the lower self would refer to stuff like how food tastes, how good the sex was, whereas the higher self is more into the sacred aspect of the food. So you begin to see the messages in nature by studying the seed and the design of the creations, looking at the apple, instead of how good it tastes, or instead of how good the orgasm was, the higher self is the part that'll just look into her eyes with pure love, not even thinking about sex. See, that's the part that makes you get married, as opposed to just the orgasm, which is the end result, or should be the end result of the mindgasm. Now let me repeat that again. The orgasm should only be the end result of the mindgasm. Like the rap group Dead Prayers said, they said we can have mindsets. We ain't got to take our clothes off yet. So that's what I'm talking about. That's when you make the connection with her heart. That's when, okay, even after the orgasm has took place, I still can't get enough of you. You see, that's where you need the balance. But what if you took the orgasm away and you just had the mindsets? See, the orgasm gives you the physical expression, the manifestation out in the flesh, where you now can create other life and everything can continue in the physical form. It's going to continue on in the mental form too, because once you bond with a person and y'all become one, y'all keep meeting back up on this earth plane. The energies of those people will be reattracted. A lot of these couples and people in love will tell you all the time it feel like they always knew each other. Okay, so but we'll get into that deeper in future videos also. So understand that the lower self ain't bad. It's the part of you that gives the physical expression. The spiritual part of you has a part in this too, because that's the part of you that look into her eyes and don't want to be with nobody else. But the physical aspect to it is when you do that, now you want to show that love physically, so you have sex. That would be the lower form of it all. But it doesn't mean that it's something that's tainted or it's evil. The low is holy, just like the high. See, both of these polarities is just like the battery, the negative and positive, that give you the midpoint. When you balance them out, you get the power. So you need that good sex, and you also need that good, romance, that spiritual, that mindgasm, all right, which should take place before the orgasm. The earth is magnetic, is attractive, so it attracts you here. That's the beauty of the mother, all right? And this is where you come, like they said, the earth plane would be what they said, the 360, the flat disc circle. The 360 is the same thing as the square. You see, both of those are 360. So they say it's the prison, or the cube is not a prison, it's a heaven. Earth is the place, the midpoint, where consciousness can experience creation. Because long as it's not here, then consciousness is always trying to get here. Okay, this is where it all happened. This is the stage, people. This is what they don't want y'all to know. The world only feel like it's moving because they sped us up and put us on their clock and took us off the Most High's clock. See, the sky is a clock. We don't even look up anymore. We just look in books filled with fake illustrations and foolish theories. Now the hex is only the heart of the earth, or the Merkaba, just like your heart is at your midsection, as I explained previously. Earth and heart is the same thing. It's the midpoint. It's the place where it all happens. It's the stage. So like I said, the word earth and heart are the same letters arranged in different ways. I've been telling y'all that in previous ones. Now understand that it's always at the center of the cosmos when we talk about the earth, because the earth is the heart, just like your heart is at the center of your cosmos, of your vessel or your body. The ancestors taught that the earth was at the center of the cosmos, and the word earth and heart are the same word. It just means the midpoint, the place where life take place. Your heart is the place in your body, your midpoint, that sustains the entire body. You can live without your brain, but not your heart. It's always at the center, the earth and the heart. Now understand that this beehive, what we're talking about, what we call the cosmos, is the whole complete hive, okay? And inside of that hive is the earth plane. So the entire hive is the cosmos. When you go inside of the hive, you'll notice that the floor is made of the same hexagon that's at the middle of your Merkaba. So the actually earth plane inside of their hive is the cone. the grid, the flat plane that we walk upon. Like I said, if it was a globe, we wouldn't be calculating in square miles. All right, you're on an endless grid, and it's representative of that honeycomb. That's the grid. That's the Masonic checkerboard. So when you go in the beehive, they have their earth plane too. That's the honey. That's the gold. It's the land of milk and honey. The entire earth is the Garden of Eden. See, the tree of life is in the center. That's the North Pole. So we're the beings. We're the bees. If the earth is representative of the honeycombs, then the honey is the manifestations, the work of the bees. Because you notice how they go and gather things out in the nature and come back into the hive to create that honey. So that's the same thing we supposed to be doing. We supposed to be building upon the ground of the earth, enhancing her and aiding her. Just like the ancestors did, they built heaven on earth. They built things on the planet that help the planet. We build things that hurt the planet. So when we work in unison with the earth, we actually help the earth. The earth has feelings. The earth love it when we do good and we not polluting it. Like I said, everything has consciousness. So the earth love it when we enjoy her. That's what the creator built it for. And if we take care of her, like I said, she'll take care of us. And the queen bee sits in the middle of the hive. That's where all the energy run in the middle of the earth. You notice that everything is centered around the queen bee. All of the activity in the hive is the reason that everybody get up in the morning in the hive is to go out and please the queen. And the queen pleases everybody else by keeping the species going. Just like if we please the earth and don't pollute her, we can keep our children living here for generations to come and keep our species going. Man has caused a lot of plant life and stuff to go extinct. So we have to preserve the earth and take care of her so she take care of us. As above, so below. Just like that queen bee. If she go, the whole hive go. Again, a symbiotic relationship, as above, so below. Take care of me, I take care of you. That's all it is, the golden rule. So that's the significance of the golden rule. And that's why it's called the golden rule. It's linked to this whole system that I'm telling you about with the honeycomb and the bee cosmology. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's just as above, so below from a law standpoint, from a political standpoint. So you can see how the ancestors ran a whole society based on the law of the cosmology, even when it came to politics and everything. That's why they didn't need police, because their whole politics system was as above, so below. Do unto me as I do unto you, and vice versa. So you didn't need police in a society where the golden rule was law. See, if the golden rule was law, then that just means as above, so below in our politics. I'm sorry, but there is no justice. Today's world, you can kill somebody, and if you got enough money, you can get off of it. So the law of the cosmology doesn't govern the earth anymore. And that's why we in mayhem, because we on a Helios cosmology and not the mama, all right? She is the hive. People will say that this is feminism and that it takes the man out the picture, but really it puts everything back in perspective. We're in a matriarch, and we got to understand that, okay? The man is very important, just like the moon is very important. There's not one that's not important, because if you take either away, the whole system will fail. That's how important everything is. Even the ant on the ground is important, even though you may look at him small. So that's what the man going through here. You got to get over your ego, man. Okay, you're not better than mama, all right? The whole thing that the man is supposed to be doing is enforcing the woman's power. The woman hold the power. She hold the baby in the womb. She has the power to either permit the life or destroy the life. She can let the baby suck off her breast and feed it, or she can cut him away from that nipple. She holds the power. The daddy can't breastfeed or sustain that baby. All babies are at the mercy of that mother for their life and their existence. Now the man plays a key role because he gives the spark. When you think about what I said, that the man is the key role and the key is the phallus, it sticks out. So the woman is the keyhole. If the man is the key role, then the woman is the keyhole. And that's really deep, brothers and sisters, because the keyhole is always made before the key. All right? There wouldn't even be a need for the key if the whole wasn't there. So again, the woman come first. So we see this acting out on all levels. Y'all know how I like to do it. I like to show you on all levels. If all men went extinct, the women will be able to reproduce again. We got to understand that the whole concept of the immaculate conception is that the first women on this earth had the first men by way of immaculate conception. That's when the Y chromosome came into being. It's proven that the X chromosome is dominant and the oldest bones that was found on this planet was always female bones. And we talking about on every continent. Now, for anybody that want to call me a feminist or a homo or any of that, that's fine, but it don't change these facts. It don't change these historical facts and this ancient cosmology that I'm putting out here. All you're doing is letting your ego show. I'm just trying to get the truth back out there. That's all. It's not hard to see how the woman is divine. The word diva itself originates from the word divine. So how is this hard to see, my brothers? Why can't we kneel back to the mama and put her back on the throne? It ain't hard to see how she divine. If we quit trying to compete with the woman, men, because that's when you get homosexual. That's when you get all full of ego and acting like a little boy, a little baby, because you can't respect mama's divinity. Stop trying to compete with the woman and enforce her power, brother. Don't compete with her. All of these male animals do they little dances to impress the woman. Listen, man, it's okay to cater and honor to her. That's why we destroying the planet today, because the people who in charge are males who have a thing against the woman or the feminine aspect. So they have no problem destroying Mother Earth and chopping down forests and polluting her waters. Just like they have no problem blaspheming the woman in their religious texts and in their cosmology. It's a man's world today, and that's why the world's so effed up. The woman is more organized. She think more ahead in the future. The man is more mechanical. We gotta keep it real. The woman is more intuitive, but there's a balance here. The man is supposed to take the woman's intuition and enforce it. So for example, the woman come up with a beautiful, elegant idea of this awesome castle, and a man can go out there and build that castle for her, but he can't think of a more beautiful, elegant design than that woman. Everything in nature is feminine. When you look at the spiral and you look at how everything is created in nature, it's feminine. So